Hello, everyone. Thanks again for tuning into Susan's Workshop. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, today we are going to be reviewing Follow the Shadows. This was a DNF for me. I very rarely DNF books. I've been trying to DNF, this doesn't sound terrible. I've been trying to DNF books a little bit more lately just because my TBR pile is so huge. I mean, this bookcase behind me, my closet, my two cabinets in my room, and my shelves above my room. Those are all the books I want to read. So I've been trying to just be like, you know what, if I'm not connecting to a book, I'm just going to DNF it because life is too short to be spent reading things you don't enjoy. First of all, this characterization is terrible. From the beginning, from the first chapter, I was turned off by this character. I mean, she's awful. First, it's supposed to be a young adult book. It reads like a kid's book. And again, I read kids' books. So that's usually not a turn-off for me. But she's just awful. Her teacher's missing, and she's just like, oh, he's missing? I wonder. I hope his family gives me the crystals that are in his drawer, because she's practicing Wicca. And again, this is, something you would think I would love. I'm Wiccan. Main character's practicing Wiccan. And there are dragons involved. Dragons. I love dragons. So, you would think, right? Witchcraft, dragons. Cynthia's gonna love this book. I thought that. I was wrong. She's practicing Wicca, and she thinks that getting a hold of this crystal ball in her tutor's, in her teacher/tutor's drawer is gonna give her all the power she needs. She doesn't even care that he's been missing for days. She goes to his house. She's like, oh, yes, I'm here for the week. Only to go upstairs and then go into his office and steal the crystal ball and then leave. She's awful. I was instantly turned off by her. Instantly. She's very annoying. She's very stupid. She's very self-centered. That doesn't change in the 5 chapters that I read, unfortunately. And the second she goes home and she does the spell, she's transported to this other realm where the dragons are dying. Alright, here's my issue with the dragons. I like dragons. I thought that dragon element was cool. But the way that they had to communicate with her, she was like, oh, you have to hold this crystal ball of ours. That's the only way we can talk to you. And you can only talk to one of us at a time. And it's through our minds. And don't let anything happen to the crystal ball, otherwise we'll die. Okay. It's very complicated, very convoluted, and I understand that those are synonymous with each other. I'm trying to stress the point. It doesn't make sense for the pacing of the plot, because every time she wants to speak to a different dragon, she has to give the crystal back to one dragon so she can get a crystal from the other dragon, and it doesn't seem... I understand the author was trying to do something unique, but it just didn't work. It just did not work. It was way too complicated. It was incredibly convoluted. It just wasn't smooth. Add to the fact that this girl doesn't know Wicca. When she's there, she does nothing. Nothing. It's just like, oh yeah, my Wicca powers are gonna help save the dragons. Like, what? What? Then do something. If she grows later on in the book, great. Awesome. I couldn't get that far. I think I got 10 chapters in, and that was rough. I will usually give books, up to 100 pages, which is pushing it. But oh my god. I will read a quarter of a book, and then if I'm still just like this, like, I don't want to pick it back up, then I'm just like, DNFing it. It was terrible. I hate to say it, it was just terrible. The characterization was not good from the beginning. When you have a character who's supposed to be your hero, who's that self-centered and just selfish right from the beginning, it's really off-putting, especially when she doesn't really go through any sort of measurable character development in 100 pages. She's lost, she's alone, she's confused, she doesn't know what's going on. It was just like, your teacher was missing, you went into his house and you stole a crystal ball. These are the consequences of your actions. Deal with it. And she's just kind of whiny about it, and like, okay, I get why you're whiny, but again, consequences. Actions have consequences. You deal with them. This is not a book I would give to my kids, like, to read. I would not give this book to them. The character's awful from the very beginning, and I understand reading awful characters and they go on this journey and they discover themselves and how awesome and heroic they can be. Better ways to write an awful character. It's not a book I would give for my kids at all. Sorry. It was just an instant DNF for me. I did not like it at all. If there is character development, great, awesome, cool. But for me, I couldn't stick through it long enough. The dynamics with the dragons was complicated, convoluted, it just didn't make sense. This is just, if I did finish it, I probably would have ended up giving it 1 star. As of right now, it is a DNF. Goodreads really needs to have that option of DNF books, just like Storygraph does. Because I really hate rating, like, books like 1 star. Like, and I know I shouldn't do that, but I'm just like, if I don't do that, then it doesn't count toward my reading goal, unfortunately. So I usually just leave the star ratings empty, but then that equates to no stars. I'm like, well, I feel bad. Goodreads. DNF button. We need a DNF button. For the love of God, we need a DNF button. It wasn't a good book, unfortunately. Sorry. Not sorry. But my opinion's my own. Other people disagreed with me, clearly. So, check out the reviews, see what they have to say about it, and then pick it up for yourself if you want to make the judgment yourself. My opinion's my own. Every literature is art, and it is subjective. So, on that note, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with all your book-loving friends. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.